Hello and welcome. Today we are diving into one of the shortest yet most profound texts in all of Mahayana Buddhism, the Heart Sutra. It's an incredibly powerful and compact teaching that promises something extraordinary, a direct path to understanding reality, and through that, a way to overcome all suffering. So let's explore how this ancient text lays out such a radical transformation. Right from the get-go, the sutra hits us with this incredible claim. This, right here, is the destination of our entire journey today. It says that by seeing the fundamental nature of our existence, what it calls the five aggregates, as empty, you can be freed from every single form of suffering. That's a huge promise. But what does it actually mean to see things as empty? Let's find out. So the sutra paints this picture. The Buddha is gathered with this whole assembly of monks and bodhisattvas. And it's in this really profound setting that a timeless question, one that is echoed through all of human history, is about to be answered. Now, the main figure here is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteśvara, a being who is dedicated to achieving enlightenment for the sake of everyone else. And while they're practicing what the text calls the deep perfection of wisdom, they have this breakthrough insight, an understanding that forms the very core of this entire teaching. And this is the question that kicks the whole thing off. Another disciple asks it directly. And the rest of the sutra is basically Avalokiteśvara's answer. It's a really practical question, right? How do we actually do this? How do we see the world in a way that truly sets us free? And the answer starts with what is, arguably the most famous and mind-bending phrase in all of Buddhist literature. This is truly the heart of the Heart Sutra. Let's just let that sit for a second. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. It sounds like a riddle, a paradox, doesn't it? It's a statement that completely challenges our most basic ideas about how reality works. So to unpack this, we first have to get a handle on what the sutra even means by emptiness. Okay, so here's the crucial point. Emptiness doesn't mean nothingness or some big black void. Not at all. It means that nothing, absolutely nothing, has a fixed, separate, independent self. Think of it like a wave in the ocean. A wave is totally empty of a separate identity from the water, right? It exists, for sure, but only because of the whole ocean. The sutra says the exact same thing is true for, everything. This really illustrates that shift in perception perfectly. On the left, that's how we usually see the world, as a collection of solid, separate things, including a very solid, separate me. But the wisdom of the sutra points to the reality on the right, a world of interconnected, constantly changing processes. A table isn't just a table. It's wood, which was a tree, which was sunlight and water and soil. It has no fixed tableness. And this applies to everything, our thoughts, our feelings, and even our own sense of self. So once you kind of grasp this big idea of emptiness, the sutra just runs with it. It systematically applies this lens to every single aspect of our experience, deconstructing our reality piece by piece. It's pretty amazing. It starts with us. These five things, form, feeling, thought, volition, and consciousness, these are the five aggregates we heard about at the very beginning. They're the building blocks of our personal experience, of our sense of I. The sutra says that from this ultimate perspective, none of them, not even your deepest thoughts or feelings, exist as separate, solid things. Then it goes even further, peeling back the next layer. The very tools we use to perceive the world, our sense organs, they are also empty of a separate self. The I only exists because there is something seen. They're just two ends of one single interconnected process. Okay, now this is where things get really radical. This sutra seems to be negating the Four Noble Truths, which are like the absolute foundation of Buddhism. But it's not saying suffering isn't real. It's saying that even these profound concepts are not fixed absolute realities. They too are empty of a separate inherent existence. And this all leads to the final brilliant twist. The sutra says even the goal itself, wisdom, and the act of getting it, attainment, are also empty. Why? Because there is nothing to get that you don't already have. It's not about adding something new to yourself. It's about taking away the delusion that's covering up a reality that's already there. So, why? Why go through all this intense deconstruction of reality? What's the point of it all? The sutra is crystal clear. The payoff is freedom, and specifically freedom from fear. And this slide just maps out that beautiful, logical progression. It's a clear path. First, you rely on this wisdom of emptiness. That leads to your mind having no hindrance, no attachments. From there, when you have nothing to cling to, nothing to fear losing, fear itself just dissolves. And that final step, being free from all these distorted views, that's what the sutra calls nirvana, ultimate peace. This line right here is the key psychological insight. Think about it. All our fears, our anxieties, our worries, they come from clinging to things, our identity, our stuff, our loved ones, as if they're permanent and separate from us. When we can see through that illusion, when we understand their empty, interconnected nature, the whole basis for fear just crumbles away. The sutra then finishes by distilling this entire profound teaching down into a single powerful sound, a mantra. And this isn't some magic spell. It's more like the sonic embodiment of the very wisdom we've just been exploring. I mean, look at how the text itself describes this mantra. It really hypes it up, emphasizing its power. It's presented as the ultimate expression of this truth, something capable of just cutting through all delusion and ending suffering, because it is the realization of that truth. And here it is, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhi, swaha. A rough translation is something like, gone, gone, gone beyond, completely gone beyond, awakened, so be it. It's a declaration of a journey and an arrival. It's the very sound of awakening, a celebration of having crossed over from illusion to reality. And so we end with this question, which brings the Heart Sutra right into our own lives right now. The text offers this radical vision of reality and a path to freedom. So the only question left is a personal one. What illusions about ourselves and the world are we clinging to? And what might happen if we were just brave enough to see them as empty?